Volleyball has an opportunity, just due to the size and volume of people in India, to be larger than any American sport currently operating. So Indian volleyball is an easy investment and very easy to get behind. Over the next 3 to 4 years, we have very high expectations with respect to viewership all over the Indian subcontinent.
I would say probably in between 3 to 5 years or 4 or 5 years, the Prime Volleyball League would be as good as the cricket or very close to that, and that's what I'm hoping for. And I see tremendous support from the viewers.
We've seen our players playing with a ferocity that I have yet to see in other nations. Our players are very willing to sacrifice their bodies for their teammates to try to save a point that maybe other players might not, or other leagues, to take volleyball as a sport due to its ease of access. Like my father stated, it is very easy to set up a volleyball court and assemble a team compared to the logistics required for cricket or kabaddi. Volleyball has the unique opportunity of being played anywhere, mostly anywhere. Since it is a new professional league in India, I think it has this spark of excitement.
Hi, this is Ishu Hirawat from KTV TV, and today I'm back with one more interview. So today with me will be joining Dr. Singh Choudhary, who's a veterinary doctor and an entrepreneur, grassrooted in India but now residing in the US. And the co-owner to his team, Ahmedabad Defenders, is his son, Mr. Joseph Choudhary, who's a nuclear and civil engineer and entrepreneur. So I welcome you to our show, Dr. Singh Choudhary and Mr. Joseph Choudhary.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
First, I'd like to know from Dr. Singh, from being a vet doctor to choosing volleyball in India and promoting the sports back here to your country, what was the thought process behind it?
Dr. DG Choudhary called me and explained to me there is an opportunity, and in US all the sports are well developed and there is a big audience there for all the sports. So I saw the opportunity for volleyball in India and I took that opportunity and joined the team, and I think there is a great future for volleyball in India.
And what made you join the sport, being born and brought up in the US?
Sure, so I learned indirectly through DG Chaudhary and through some family members that there was an investment opportunity coming up in India, specifically Ahmedabad. And based on India's growth, its status as the world's largest democracy, and its pending world's largest economy and subsequently world's largest middle class, it's an easy investment to make.
So sir, I'd like to know from you, you were born and brought up in India and then you shifted to the US. So how was the year 1975 a turning point in your life?
I graduated in 73 and I joined government of Gujarat. And my goal was at that time, I wanted to practice veterinary medicine, and they put me in charge of RP vaccination scheme. So I became a kind of a manager. So then I just decided to go abroad because I didn't have any chances here. And I was lucky that it worked out very well for me. But I still owe some gratitude and to India. So I come here every year. Before I joined the volleyball, I always work 1 month as a volunteer for the vaccination clinic and surgery camp. I try to help whatever I can do, in my community for educations, because I come from the community that not too many people will go to high school or college. So I supported a lot of educational institute too, in my neighborhood and my community.
We've heard that you do a lot of free camps in India and you come here every year. So if you could throw some light about it.
I would probably, go to the local hospital and they help us out. So then we have at least 100 plus patients comes that day. We start 9 in the morning and we are there at least until 4 or 5 in the evening. And I usually do a checkup. I invite the local veterinarians. I go to the veterinary schools and speak about how to take care of the patient and how to take care of their client.
So Mr. Joseph Choudhary, I would like to know from you, as people say, sports are well developed in the US. So you backrooted India with volleyball. So what was your take on that?
Sure. Indian volleyball has an opportunity, just due to the size and volume of people in India, to be larger than any American sport currently operating. So Indian volleyball is an easy investment and very easy to get behind. Over the next 3 to 4 years, we have very high expectations with respect to viewership all over the Indian subcontinent and internationally.
I'd like to know from you, sir, where do you see Prime Volley League in the upcoming future of around 4-5 years?
I would say probably in between 3 to 5 years or 4 or 5 years, the Prime Volleyball League would be as good as the cricket or very close to that, and that's what I'm hoping for. And I see tremendous support from the viewers and media.
We also hope to see scaling on an international level with respect to international volleyball leagues joining our league, interacting with our league, and getting more international players involved.
So when we talk about volleyball, we generally talk about the local players. We talk about people playing in the rural areas as well, because this is a sport where not much investment is required when you play. So what's your take on that? How do you see that? How would you kind of help those kind of people to get involved with this sport and come forward playing it?
Well, they start at the high school level or even the grade school and teach the kids, and then college level, and I think we go there whenever we have a chance and promote them, and if there is any prizes or something, we want to award them. But I think if you start at the high school level, college level, and those players, and there is some raw talent that they can come out and they can join the league.
So I'd like to know from you, where do you see India standing in the Olympics in the coming years?
I think there is a good chance that volleyball will be the team like in Olympics, and we should get invited there, and I think we have a great future there.
I think it's a two-part question. One being, maybe you're alluding to, will India hold the Olympics someday? I think there's a lot of potential for India to be a 2036 Olympic candidate.
So do you feel the Prime Volley League is a very big opportunity to endorse the players, to make them fit and fine, and to bring them to the level where they could compete in the Olympics?
Incredibly so, because it provides the opportunity to be seen. Where before these players might have to go get a visa, find an opportunity in a foreign country, now we've brought that opportunity home.
Also like to know from you, sir, what changes do you see in the Prime Volley League from season 1 to 2?
In my view, I think all the owners are cooperating each other. We get along very well, and there is no rivalry. We have more friendship, and it doesn't matter who wins or who loses. We support the whole league, and that's the bottom line. So.
Yeah. And what's your take on the same, sir?
We as the owners have kind of taken a one-team mentality with respect to our league. We try to use the words "our" because we all want each other to succeed and therefore have the league succeed, and ultimately for the benefit of our players and their families. And we're very grateful to our viewers for supporting and creating that opportunity.
What kind of difference do you see when you see players playing back there in the US and here in India?
So since our league is so new and it has such a high growth potential, we've seen our players playing with a ferocity that I have yet to see in other nations. Our players are very willing to sacrifice their bodies for their teammates to try to save a point that maybe other players might not, or other leagues might not promote.
So one thing that I'd like to know from you is, your dad was born and brought up in India, and then he went to the US, and then for the volleyball you came back to India. So how do you connect to it? Is it a way of honoring your dad and his roots in India some way?
Absolutely. My father is a product of India, and I am a product of my father. Therefore, I absolutely want this league to grow as much as possible, to honor him, the hard work he's done to help our family and our community, go from simply being able to put food on the table to being able to support other communities and help communities grow, like this volleyball team and league.
So doctor, I'd like to know from you, we have foreign players playing into the league. So is that making enough noise in other countries, and especially in the US, because you'll be knowing about that? How are people reacting to the league? It's also coming on the volley world.
I think it's getting bigger every year.
Volleyball was not taken up as an upfront sport in India last many years. So what message would you like to give to the children who are like at the age of 10, 12 and want to pursue sports as their career? How would you inspire them to choose volleyball as one of the aspects?
See, volleyball is not a contact sport, so the chances for injuries are much less. So chances are very good to develop this sport in a huge audience and a big game, and the league will be expanded. So
The idea of how people should be inspired to take this volleyball as a sport and not only cricket and football.
People should be inspired to take volleyball as a sport due to its ease of access. Like my father stated, it is very easy to set up a volleyball court and assemble a team compared to the logistics required for cricket or kabaddi. Volleyball has the unique opportunity of being played anywhere, mostly anywhere. Since it is a new professional league in India, I think it has this spark of excitement for younger persons to get involved.
And from you, I'd like to know, when your team is practicing, when they are under their training sessions, how do you motivate them to play better and do better?
Sure, we try to keep all our players focused on taking care of each other as a team and going out and doing their jobs and their best.
Do you all also ever come and just play with them and juggle around during free sessions? Do you get that opportunity?
I have yet to have that opportunity. I'm not sure how good I would be. Have you?
but I definitely mingle with them and I talk to them and I give them kind of a positive talk all the time. It is a teamwork. One person cannot win the championship. They have to work as a team and they support each other.
So that was Dr. Choudhary and Mr. Joseph Choudhary with us. Thank you so much for your time and the motivation that you've given to other people around. Thank you so much.
Thank you.